that second time out post the 57. So who knows what's going on. And through the hairpin they come into the Mansell complex through that awful right-hander, but they manage it very well. And across the line with a time of 105.627. It's nowhere near enough to the 57. Meanwhile, on the line now is a 58 car. It is Leicester who've stalled off the line and broken the timing beam. Have they got those problems with the throttle that was suggested to us by Daniel from DMU? There is the possibility there. Does seem to be a case of throttle issues, having spoken between Leicester and De Montfort, who are both from the same city and have a friendly rivalry going on. So it's a nice insight that we could provide you here in the commentary box.
I got another one. A ladybird.
We're collecting bugs here in the commentary box. Meanwhile, we've got a ladybird now. Thanks. Just sat there crawling around here. Leicester not looking their usual frivolous selves through the sprint course, looking rather controlled and potentially a bit dull, I must say, because they've got issues. They have issues, do the guys from Leicester, with their throttle, by the sounds of things.
Yes, it looks like it, because again, they're just not putting too much power in with the gears, and it just seems to me that it's not a driver issue, but it's a powertrain issue.
Could well be a powertrain issue for these guys. Hey, I mean, they've also picked up a cone by the looks of it on the exit of the first slalom. They're coming towards us here in the commentary box for the second slalom now, through that changing surface beneath the drivers from the tarmac of the main Grand Prix circuit onto the runoff area that doesn't have a lot of grip, to say the least. And onto that second slalom they go now. And you'll be interested to know, lining up for their next run is another team from Leicester. We'll get on to that in just a moment. Right now, all eyes on the orange of Leicester as they come across the final hairpin of the course. It's a rather tight corner, and they just about managed to make that work without any issue. Say that, it's looking rather cool, calm and collected. I think nervous or potentially held back by problems. They crossed the line with a 1:27.393. It's not their fastest, but it is a lap time on the board. Another team about to put a lap time on the board are their fellow compatriots from Leicester. Next up in the queue, a team that we weren't sure we were going to get to see here at Silverstone, a team that we've got a lot of time for here in the commentary box. They're just into double digits, but everybody has worked flat out all year, and now again at the track, they've solved some of their main issues. They've got back on track through it all, and trust me, through it all, they have come good. And they're out, on track, ready to go for their first go of acceleration and sprint, I should say, in a number of years, several years. They tried the transition to electric. In the same way as Imperial College London, they reverted back to an internal combustion unit, taking inspiration from their last challenger back in 2022. The first time I ever commented on Formula Student. Full Send University, De Montfort are back. And this is incredibly exciting stuff. They're likely to go gently at first, we're reliably informed, to at least ensure points, given the past couple of days. There have been some real issues for this team. They've been back up to Leicester. They've been working through the night. And Sabrina is about to take to the track.
Good old Sabrina, heading towards the sprint track for the very first time. And that must be a very special moment, because we thought that they wouldn't even make it, but they managed to get the parts that they needed. They actually had to go shopping for a few parts in order to fix it, and that's what made them pass through. They were confident anyway. I think we've seen more cars queuing anyway. I'm just trying to decipher what the number is. 31 is waiting out.
So that is so De Montfort are waiting. Exeter are coming up to the line currently. So it's just a case of, can Exeter get on the power consistently enough? Because they looked quick. On their second run, they looked quick, and then all of a sudden, the power just seemed to drop off yet again, and they were there crawling around. We know this car can be fast. We've seen test footage of this car. Now, as driver number 2 approaches the line and goes away, it's a slow start for Exeter University. Have they got shifter issues? They don't seem to be putting it up into a gear. There's a gear. You found it. Now keep going, is the answer to the question. Why are they going so slowly?
I think they're going a lot slower than we thought, Giles.
That's looking rather dangerously close to coasting. I can't lie. Car number 73 back on the power just a moment there, potentially, as we begin to stress here on the commentary box, both myself and Jess with family ties to Devon. Jess actually living there. And this team have come back through a number of setbacks and have really come together in the past 12 months to try and work as a cohesive whole and get themselves through. Yes, if Monty could run off and find out the answers to the question of why has that gone wrong? Why has that gone wrong? Oh, you've got right. In which case Monty's back already. I mean, he never really left, but he is back.
So Monty, what's the issue with Exeter then?
So they're having downshift issues, so I believe they were trying to start this one from second or third gear and try and get around the whole lap in one single gear, and it would appear that ambition is greater than adhesion here. It looks like they've been able to find a gear here, but yes, it's a downshift issue which they are experiencing. If they can get those downshifts sorted, we'll be seeing them go a lot quicker, but basically they're stuck in third gear for most of the lap.
And you do not want to be in third gear for the entirety of that, because the lower the gear, the more power that it brings to some parts of the car. So thank you, Monty, for that. Monty is going to be going back to the pits to see if he can get more information about certain cars on the circuit. And fair play to Exeter, they're still going. So
Exeter are still going. From my experience, third is not the worst gear to be stuck in for this course. I don't know whether they're still stuck in third or whether they're stuck in a different gear here, because it's looking slower than one would expect.
or fourth, maybe they're stuck in fourth.
Well, no, because the higher gear you go, you should be able to just, I don't know, second would be ideal, really. But if you're at the bottom end of third, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And it would go this slowly, from what I can tell.
It doesn't seem to me that the issue, the them being in third gear, is not helping out a bit for Exeter. But like as Monty said, the more chance they have to improve the car, the better it will be. If they don't get it improved in time, they will get it improved for endurance coming up. But at least they're going to have time to complete their lap time here for the Sprint of Formula Student 2025. We're live here at Cox Corner at Silverstone, and we are going to. I think they're just going to try and coast it. Yeah, it looks like they're coasting right now. And someone is looking very happy in the commentary box as De Montfort is in the queue.
They are indeed. De Montfort coming up to the line, a team comprising significantly of first and second years as Exeter crossed the line with a 257.072. They've got transmission issues to contend with. And Daniel Latara from De Montfort taking a deep breath as all his hopes and dreams come together on the line. This is a team that has transformed themselves in the past 12 months with a skeleton crew of first and second years with very limited experience, and they're taking a cool, calm and collected approach as they pull away from the line. We know from testing that this car can perform incredibly well, but as unfortunately the air intake wasn't in line with the rules in terms of the roll envelope, so they had to shorten the air intake, and in doing so lost a lot of time to get through scrutineering. There were then other issues. They got delayed in scrutineering whilst the engine was still on, so lost battery, so I had to go and purchase a new battery from the nearest Halfords. And through all of that, and I'm just skimming the surface of the issues that they've had to contend with, they've managed to get Sabrina out on track, which is a huge achievement. They're coming back towards us here in the commentary box now on the approach to the second slalom. They've already completed the first slalom, the double left-hander and the two zigzags, going over that change in surface beneath the car. Daniel nodding consistently, just watching the car come through. And this is what we need to talk about. It's the fact that this means a huge amount to the team members. It's only when we have people like Daniel who are so invested in these teams that you realise how much blood, sweat and tears and life work has gone into this, as here they come across the final corners to complete their first lap of sprint. And that is Sabrina across the line with a 1:14.351, a glorious sighting lap. And they have got themselves ahead of their arch rivals Leicester. A wonderful time then for De Montfort. Meanwhile,
Can we get thoughts from him very, very quickly?
would you like to come on?
I can't speak right now.
He can't. We're reliably informed the poor guy can't speak right now. Exeter, meanwhile, have got to choose one gear and stick with it. and they are
That
managing.
seems to be working.
That does seem to be working here. Have they managed to find second? Because it looks a lot quicker. They might be maxing it out a bit, but at the end of the day, it is looking a damn sight quicker than it was a few minutes ago. So they've got transmission problems. We know that. Sacrificing a fast time won't be the biggest deal in the world to these guys. At the end of the day, it's more a case of on-track experience. They have De Montfort are going again as well. Two teams, I can't believe this. Two teams that we've been rooting for here in the commentary box for the past 12 months. Those lower key teams that you don't see grabbing the headlines, both on track at the same time, both having overcome significant issues and both having not been on track for several years. This is impeccable stuff. This is what Formula Student truly is about, because you only see on the coverage the top level of Formula Student, and there'll be a number of teams in the paddock as exit across the line with a 1:33.
Still not fast,
253, not quite faster than their fastest time, but getting there. Sliding there, as ever, as Full Sem University, by name and by nature, De Montfort, we know they're back. Sabrina getting sideways, out through the zigzags, and they're going through the second slalom now, headed towards the hairpin. These are teams with a low number of members, a small budget, and yet they've overcome all the odds to get out on track. It's a huge achievement as they come through the hairpin. Bear in mind, several teams will spend the entire week in the paddock, never seeing their car run. So this is a huge achievement, and De Montfort crossed the line yet again with a 105.353. That puts them right amongst the big boys. That is hugely impressive. That puts them into 10th. Congratulations. That's really very impressive. Another impressive car, and we've seen how many people love how gorgeous this car looks.
It looks beautiful.
Car number 29, Sheffield Hallam, lining up for a go. In the background there, I can see Vermilion and Imperial College wanting to go yet again. Nice one, DMU, says Robert Watson. It's James King. King James is driving my goat, says Heretic Raider. Daniel's having a moment to compose himself. Through all the odds, De Montfort really have overcome everything that fate has thrown their way in the best way possible. So hats off to De Montfort. Hats off to Exeter as well, coaxing an unwell car, a poorly car around, which is impeccable stuff. They've got through. We're yet to see some of the teams that we saw earlier in the day, Jess, and I don't know where they are. Sheffield Hallam have crossed the line to start another lap, looking a little bit bumpy. Away they go, though, and into the first corner. It does seem to want to jump about a bit, does this
Bit
car?
of porpoising from that car, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, quite badly, Jess. That's really, that's remind me of Zebedee from the Magic Roundabout. It's like a jack-in-the-box up and down.
How is he able to control the car with all that suspension?
The suspension system doesn't... I don't know what... Oh, hang on. Oh, that was a bit... Really snapping at the wheel, really snatching at the wheel through the corners there. And you can see the rear wing vibrating as the car goes along. Whether that's and they've stopped. That wasn't a healthy car. And I wonder whether something's shaken loose as a result of the porpoising, or whether there was an underlying issue causing the porpoising to begin with. But they're back under power. That was cones they hit. That was the issue that they had there. They picked up a number of cones on their front wing. So no mechanical problems, but problems nonetheless, because cones will inhibit your time. They are penalties, and I don't know what's going. Is that just the suspension setup, or is there an issue there?
I don't know. I hope it's not a major issue for Sheffield Hallam, but they've done multiple runs, and this may sacrifice their fastest lap time for that driver. So this is not going to be good for them.
We know that James is driving for DMU, but we've got Daniel from DMU here in the commentary box. As across the line comes Sheffield Hallam with a time of 1:22.306. There will be cones added to that.
Yes.
And Imperial College London now set off for yet another stab at sprint. That's looking rather rapid off the line there, Jess.
Yeah, that looks very rapid. And with the unlimited runs, the drivers are getting increasingly more excited and more speedy as they make their way through the track. And it's definitely going to be looking good tomorrow, especially if you have the same drivers in sprint running endurance.
Indeed so. Meanwhile, Aussie Albert says, I never thought I'd see porpoising on a Formula Student car.
Now you do.
Well, yes, it was that. It looked very much like porpoising. Whether that was caused by the same issues that porpoising tends to be to do with in terms of ground effect and then losing the ground effect suddenly, I couldn't tell you. Imperial College coming through back into our site here at the commentary box. Meanwhile, Emerson asking is OBR still top? Yes, they are. And away go Vermilion from Denmark. They are on the charge. Big shout out to the Danish. Some of them are subscribers to the Formula Student podcast. Make sure you subscribe to Formula Student online. Search it up on YouTube as Imperial College London come through the hairpin on the approach to the corner.
And then on to Combe.
On the exit of the hairpin, they've caught cones there. This is the corner they hate so much. They lost it here on their first lap. And across the line with a time of 110.323. I was expecting a 109. Meanwhile, HSM was saying more likely to be low dampening. I did wonder whether it was a suspension setup on the Sheffield Hallam car. So that
we had a nod in the commentary box.
That would explain a lot. They could do with adjusting that because that's not going to be comfortable. You run the risk of shaking something loose in the electrical box. I speak from experience there with Cardiff back in the day. Meanwhile, on track is Vermilion as they come through the final couple of corners and heading towards the finish line across the line with a time of 1:00.387. Look calm, collected, undramatic, and it's put them up into the top 3.
And that's their best time as well, just about 3 tenths shy of them getting to the sub 1 minute mark. I really hope they can do it and they can try and take the competition to the Basque Country and Oxford Brookes. And don't forget, they are the top. I'm just looking at the results at the moment. The top 5, all EV cars. I don't think I'll be expecting that. Do we have anybody waiting in the queue? Doesn't look like it. There will probably be a few teams going again. I know Denmark would want to go again and try and beat their fastest lap time because we know they want to try and do that. They seem really lovely and they really enjoy Formula Students so far. As I've been speaking to them almost every day now. Really, really good spirit. That team, we welcome teams from all around the world here at Formula Student UK. We're not just a Formula Student for British teams. I know somebody from Formula Student Spain that was watching this broadcast as well. There's plenty of Formula Students happening all around the world for the next few months. And there's plenty of our British teams taking part in some of them as well in a few weeks. So best of luck to them, of course, as we've got one team. I think that's Birmingham again, if I'm not that too mistaken.
That's Birmingham next. And in behind them, is that Line Racing or is that Leeds? That's
Leeds.
So Birmingham and Leeds ready to go again.
And with the hopefully Leeds are on the right tyres this time. Fingers crossed for Leeds. So they should get a faster lap time. Their fastest lap time right now is a 110.002. And they can shave, I think, 6-7 seconds off of that. So we've got another electric car making their way through. I don't think it's Birmingham. I might be wrong.
That is Birmingham.
Yeah, that is Birmingham.
Birmingham lining up again. Meanwhile, shout out to BRT from Joanna. +1 for damping, almost getting axle tramp. As we've been discussing here in the commentary box, porpoising is aero-instigated only, whereas bumpiness and weight transfer here will be a case of suspension dynamics choices. They're not dampening enough there by the looks of things. Our Sheffield Hallam, they could do with putting some more dampening on those shocks. And away go the University of Birmingham off the line. And headed through turn 1 immediately. That's a rapid start for the University of Birmingham as they head down to the approach onto the first slalom. Now they've got to pick that exit and make sure they get it just right via the entrance prior. Meanwhile, onto the double left-hander now. And getting just a bit squiffy through the exit of that, but managing to hold it there. Now onto the double zigzag. No sign of the rain we were expecting just yet, but the clouds are darkening above us, so don't count your chickens just yet as they come down towards the second slalom. Do the University of Birmingham. Through they come then, and headed now towards the hairpin at the bottom of the course, one of the hardest corners on track. This year's circuit redesigned to be both technical and high speed, or just about managing to keep it within the cones, and through the Mansell complex, the double right-hander, and there they go across the line with a time of 59.984.
Wow!
That is impressive to say the least, and Birmingham are back into third with only 0.5 of a second separating them and the second place team, the University of the Basque Country, in about a second, or 2 seconds between themselves and Oxford Brookes.
That looked quick from Birmingham. It might be that the track is dragging, or maybe the driver's more confident, or maybe a signal between the two. We have another car waiting to go. It looks like Bolton, if I'm not too mistaken, ready to go out of the University of Greater Manchester. They were now called out of December. And when we spoke to them for the Former Student podcast, they were quite proud that they were called that as well, which means that hopefully they'll get a lot more opportunities because of it. So they're lining up now on to the circuit. You can keep an eye on who is past scrutiny on FS Stats. And you can also see the times of sprint on FS Stats as well if you want a reminder of how your favourite team is doing.
So here we go then, University of Greater Manchester, formerly known as Bolton, on the line, ready to go. It's nice to see them with a consistent drivetrain that will allow them to do fairly competitive times. The question is, they're wrestling with that. Oh, this is a car that's quite wide and clearly quite powerful, or certainly wants to step out on the driver. So it's a case of trying to keep it clean in through the cones, some of these tighter sections of the course with that wide wheelbase. Through the first slalom they go, onto the double left-hander. Initially it's quite sweeping and slow, and then it kicks right harshly on the left there. That's the second left. It's rather difficult to get through. The sea of cones now beckoning towards the drivers as they approach the double zigzag. Watch the rear left here and just try and see if they clip it on the exit. They don't, which is good news for them. The cleanest we've seen the drive from University of Greater Manchester as they head towards both the grandstand and the second slalom, coming past us here in the commentary box. But I think they did indeed catch the first cone on that second slalom. So not yet to see a clean lap from the University of Greater Manchester, even though they seem to be determined to keep it cleaner. They are a lot slower than we have seen them through this rather high, complex section of the course. And they've got cones again. Unfortunately, they're on the right-hander into the Mansell section of the course with a time of 1:11.760. It's just a question of cleaning it up. It's a car that works now. They've just got to get their eye in. Meanwhile, Staffordshire are here to make another go of it. There's a team that have got their eye in, but seemingly are a little slower than we would expect from them.
Yes, because they usually go well in sprint and endurance, usually the top 3 or top 4, and usually quite a lot of support too. So I think what Staffordshire need to do is figure out what went wrong and clean it up, which hopefully they will do right now here on the circuit. And we usually get a lot of Staffordshire support out there on the circuit and live on the Formula Student stream. You got myself, Jess, Giles Cosgrove, and you got Monty floating about, getting some insights for us for Formula Student to find out how certain teams are doing. Don't forget, each team has got to pass through 5 or 6 important parts of scrutineering. If you don't pass scrutineering, you won't be allowed to go on track. And that's because Silverstone, it is pretty much a Motorsport UK licensed circuit, and you have to have a motorsport license in order to drive, and the car's got to be safe, and if it's not safe, then it's not going to look good on you. So we are about to get going then for the University of Staffordshire for their lap.
Let's have a look at what Staffordshire can do then. In the background, there's a white nose cone. Is that who I think it is? It's Yui. Yui lining out. That's good to see. We'll have a bit of Yui. We'll have a look. We'll certainly have a look. The answer to can it get any wetter? I mean, it can, but it hasn't yet. Whether it will do or not, I don't know. You may have noticed I might be being fed phrases to say in the commentary box. Anyway, right now Staffordshire are away. Stream stopped for anyone else, or was it just me? The stream does seem to have stopped, I'm afraid, over on YouTube, if someone can take a look into that, because it seems to have frozen. Meanwhile, Staffordshire out on track. We're going to keep commentating in the hopes that those online can hear us. We know you can hear us here at Silverstone. Staffordshire out on track yet again, headed to the double left-hander at the top of the course, back through immediately, a very rapid time already from Staffordshire, looking far more planted and far more powerful than they have previously.
We're back live.
The stream is back, so welcome back if you're just joining us on YouTube. Apologies for that. Don't know where it went, but we're back again. Headed past us here in the commentary box on the approach to the second slalom are Staffordshire, the car with a shark on the nose. It's become an iconic part of their livery. They're looking on for a really positive time here. I believe they are currently the fastest internal combustion car out on track. Can they go better than their 103.913 is the question. Through they come, headed towards the finish line with a time of 1:00.312. Yes, they can!
And that puts me to 4th.
It puts them into 4th and right amongst the electrical vehicles. That is really nice. And away go the University of Greater Manchester. The University of Bolton are off. Backfiring there. Can they keep it clean? Can we have one clean lap from Bolton is the question. And I know they're not technically called Bolton anymore, but I had this special dispensation from the team because it's rather difficult to keep saying University of Greater Manchester whilst you're in the throes of commentating on a motorsport event.
Yeah, because we've known them for Bolton for so many years.
It would be, if we were commentating on dressage or something, it'd be a lot easier. But oddly enough, this is motorsport, and they're motoring along. Bolton headed towards the second slalom as they go through the double zigzags, and they've got cones again. They've got cones again. Do Bolton, and here comes the second slalom for them now.
And here we go. We've got a team about to get ready. It's Yuri, but whilst Yuri is going out there on the circuit, you can tell that Bolton is going faster on this lap than we've seen in quite a while. The time that they got to beat is a 1:09.437. Let's just hope that they are quicker, heading towards the Luffield style part of the lap then. What's it going to be for the Greater Manchester? 1:06.846, which is their fastest lap time this weekend. And here we go. The University of West of England are out there on track for the first time this weekend. But what an amazing sight to see.
And it really is an amazing sight to see. These guys
Oh, no.
spoke too soon. That is disastrous out of the gate for the University of the West of England. They're back under power now, though. It's a hybrid power unit. I'm not entirely sure they're running the full hybrid power unit. I think they're intending on running that in Spain in a couple of weeks' time and using Formula Student here in the UK as basically a large sighting lap. The power looks to be inhibited yet again, and they've come to a stop for a second time at the top of the course on the double left-hander. The driver waving his hand, I've got this, I know what I'm doing, but that's unfortunate, and I don't know whether they'll be able to complete a full lap if this keeps up, Jess, but they're back under their power again. They're back onto it immediately and headed towards the double zigzag as they come in towards our site here in the commentary box. As they come through, we can now see them. And the question is, will the power maintain? They sound great when they are under power, but it doesn't
It's not
seem
consistent,
consistent.
no.
It's not. I'm afraid we keep saying a lot today, I won't lie. Car 121, their first time out on track. The time on the board is a time on the board. It's better than some other teams have managed, including teams that we have actually seen already earlier today in Acceleration and Skid Pad, who have yet to complete a lap for Sprint. And the question I have to ask is why? If you're one of those teams and you could let us know, I'd be very grateful. Across the line, go Dewey with a 1:34.843. They can definitely do faster, but again, they've stopped right in front of us this time here in the commentary box. That power unit has got issues.
And here's to Montfort. They're going again, but
Montfort are on their way now, through into turn one. They're just trying to keep it slow and steady and not rock the boat too much because their boat has been rocked dramatically over the course of the week. So you may not see the usual exuberant, leave it all on the tarmac driving that we get from De Montfort previously. It's the first time we've seen them out on track since 2022. And this driver now just getting their eye in. I believe it is Ben behind the wheel. It is indeed going through the double left-hander. We know this car can be quicker. Don't be pulled in by the slow lap time and be concerned. I've got a funny feeling it's under team orders to keep it slow and steady, especially with this being the first lap for Ben behind the wheel. This team typically just over 10 members, and most of which are 10, I mean, first and second years. So there's not a great deal of knowledge transfer. They've lost the experts in internal combustion power and setting up a Formula Student car to graduation and employment. So as a result, they're finding their way around in the dark, and they've done it so successfully, having reverted from the electric power to internal combustion power at the start of this academic year. And the results are there for all to see. Yui away for another go. Right now, we're with De Montfort as they come through and head towards the hairpin at the bottom of the course in front of the grandstand. Pulling round they go and heading through the Mansell complex. Across the line then with a time of 1:38.510. It's slow, but it is a time, which is more than can be said for other teams. Yui, another slow time previously. The power doesn't seem to have given out in this instance as they go through the double left-hander now. And that's looking a lot better, Jess, I must say. The question is, can they keep on the pace? It's dancing through the corners like Torvald and Dean. It's looking great.
Like
when it
the
does
Bolero.
go. Exactly, and it's giving the Bolero on tarmac. And if they can just maintain it to the end, this will be a really solid lap time. I'm seeing under 110 if they can just keep going the way they are. But more, that seems to be a case of, can the power unit keep going? And through they go, along past us in the commentary box. The second slalom is complete. Only the hairpin and the Mansell complex to come. The Mansell complex named after Cardiff alumni Mike Mansell, who set it up this morning, brand new for a Formula Student 2025. Through that really difficult right-hander, they just managed to hold it, and they crossed the line with a 1:14.753, a vastly better time for the team from Yui. Meanwhile, De Montfort have stopped directly at the exit of the track, and I don't see, and they're just pulling away now. Meanwhile, University of Leeds having some problems getting off the line. They've managed to do so, and away they go to make another go of it. We've seen some very exciting driving from the University of Leeds. This is driver number 1 for Leeds back out again with these unlimited runs that we're running across the Saturday events here at Formula Student. Meanwhile, Yui were told to wait because De Montfort were blocking the exit from the track, and now they can't get back under their own power. The University of Leeds sending it through the double zigzag.
Let's just hope that the Yui move out the way before.
There's plenty of time. There's nothing to worry about. University of Leeds
there we
can
go.
full send because there's plenty of time for Yui to get the car out of the way. Car 121 being wheeled out of the way. Meanwhile, we've got a bit of a problem for Leeds. They are crawling to a halt,
no.
which is rather disconcerting. Unpleasant every time we see it. There's so much investment from us in the commentary box. We go up and down the pit lane all week interviewing these teams, talking to them, and we know how much blood, sweat and tears goes into this, whether it's from interviewing them or from experience ourselves. And this is the sight no one likes to see. A car stopped on track. There was a moment of life. It lives!
There we go.
Leeds
It's
lives!
alive.
She lives again, does Leeds, and car 63 is back under its own power and it's away. It will be a slower time as a result, but with these unlimited times, it's a little bit of a unlimited runs, I should say. It's a sacrifice they're going to have to make if they want to keep going. And away go De Montfort again for what looks to be a quicker run. There's a far more exuberant start from De Montfort. Meanwhile, I must say, Leeds are back here at the exit of the course. They've crossed the line with a time of 1:51.347. That stoppage has cost them dearly, and they will have sacrificed the fastest time for that driver to post it. So problems for Leeds. They're going to have to get back out there and post a quicker time. Otherwise, they're going to be...
They haven't got long though. They got 50 minutes.
Like 15 minutes is not a long time here at Formula Student. Jess, you're right. Meanwhile, De Montfort coming through the double zigzag. I have yet to see Cardiff.
I have not either. If someone can if we could see, if we can find out what's going on with Cardiff and a few other teams that passed through nearing that haven't gone through sprint yet, it'll be much appreciated. But I think for a few teams, it might just be. I think Cardiff are the only one that's gone through scrutineering that hasn't done sprint.
We've seen them for acceleration. We've seen them for skid pad. We have yet to see Cardiff for sprint. Potential problems then for Cardiff. No problems at the moment though for De Montfort, who are
Two teams. We got two. We got an extra team that's got passed through scrutineering. So yeah, we've got two.
De Montfort fought tooth and nail to be here. That's a 1:14.104. It's not their fastest, but they don't necessarily need to post their fastest because more points on the board as the laps come in and the driver's understanding of the car improves. Here, meanwhile, is a line racing. They are back. Behind them, I can see Coventry and Warwick in the queue, as well as, I believe, potentially even Exeter there at the back. Meanwhile, here comes a line. They're right at the front, and they go away looking very, very inspired. This is looking really good. While it was looking good, it's now looking slow. What they could do with picking up the pace if they want to be challenging the electric cars at the top of the running board, Oxford Brookes, Basque Country and Birmingham.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be a fast time because they would have, I think, taken at least a double left-hander a little bit more fast compared to what we saw with other teams. But it seems to me they're just getting their eye in to the track. I believe, is it their second driver or is it their first? It's hard to tell, but
I think this might well be their second driver. Meanwhile, on our view of all the different cameras, Monty's on our trackside cam waving at us, so hello to you, Monty, as well. Meanwhile, Align are still going and could do with putting their foot down if they want to get a faster lap to be up there with the big boys of the electric power units, but nonetheless, a time on the board will be great for them. They are currently orbiting 18th position. Away go Coventry. Nice Thursday noise of an internal combustion unit. They are in 8th at the moment. Their fastest at 104.4. Meanwhile, Align Racing coming through the final corner of the Mansell complex to take the checkered flag for this run of sprint with a time of 119.557. Looked slow, was faster than I was expecting. They can go a lot faster. We know this. Talking of teams going faster, Coventry on absolute send here. This is part of the dynamic runs with those unlimited run ability here. Oh, look at that. The way it rolled through that corner is lovely. And suspension setup is brilliant because this is what we were talking about earlier with Sheffield Hallam. They had a rock-hard suspension setup that was vibrating them along. This is what you want to do. You want to really dive into that corner and maintain the contact patch. Let it roll just enough to maintain the contact and maintain the speed through the corners, which is exactly what Coventry have done as they come through the final turns of the Mansell complex to cross the line. This is going to be a fast time for sure, and the time is 55.423.
IC back on.
That's an IC back on top in the timings for sprint. The gauntlet Oxford Brooks has been laid down and it goes to Coventry, and the media officer from Coventry is cheering outside the commentary box. She's over the moon, rightfully so. Meanwhile, Align are back out on track. This is looking good for Align. They are trying to post a quicker time to put themselves up into the orbit of those teams dominating in the top 5, which are EV. There's a real mixture here, and I know a lot of people question why Formula Student in the UK runs both EV and IC in the same class. And you can see here, there's a lot of competition going on between the two teams that evenly match. IC, EV, 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 IC, EV make up your top 5. So there's a real mixture here in the top 5. Away go Warwick, another electric-powered car. Align, again, slow and steady. It looks slow, but it could be fast. It really could be. So don't write them off yet. I've been proven wrong before, and I probably will be again. As they come through the final corner, the final hairpin, I should say, and through the Mansell complex, that really difficult right-hander, and across the line to post a time of 117.301. Meanwhile, Warwick are out on track right now. This has to be a faster time for Warwick because otherwise they will lose a quick time in order to post this one. So that's the pressure of these unlimited runs.
And oh, I see a green light just about.
Yeah. There's two lights. There's a green light and a red light on Warwick's car. That's interesting. There's a red flashing light. One would presume it's a dual system. So if the red flashing light is there with the green light, it's good. If it's just the green light, it's bad. The good news is it's flashing red as they come through the rather difficult right-hander sideways through there. Very nicely done across the line with a 107.587.
That was brilliant.
To see how far Warwick have come since last year, that alone is a fantastic story. Congratulations to them. That's put them right amongst the big boys. Really great stuff for Warwick.
And speaking of big boys, Coventry set the gauntlet and Oxford Brooks was like, you're not going to have that fast time. We're going on that circuit to try and beat it.
Oxford Brooks are lining up for another run. They have been beaten out of the top spot by Coventry with a 55.423. And not only was it a 55.423, it looked as clean as a whistle. So now then, what can Oxford Brooks do in reply? You can see on your screens there the hot seat. You're back to Cheryl is on the screens. I don't know whether you can hear her. Right now it's me over the top of Cheryl. So Cheryl, you're live. That was slick.
You have a seat fastest rider, and they get to sit in it until someone goes fast. And the idea is just to create that little bit of theatre, that little bit of tension, where the person in the hot seat is watching what's going on track, seeing if they're getting beaten. And then, you know, as someone goes fast, they take over the hot seat, etc. Until you get to the end, to the first who's left at the end.
Still not enough.
Who's fastest?
Still commentary.
Still commentary are fastest.
Yeah.
That's over-regging it. That sounds awful.
Sorry if I'm distracting you, but
No, you're
No,
not.
you're not.
You're massively
I'm
helpful.
trying to be like.
You're massively helpful.
You're being so.
How the hell I cocked up? How the hell I cocked up about porpoising? I don't know. I'm really embarrassed by that.
No, that was my fault because I said that.
It's just spring. Usually springs.
So them vibrating like that, that's a hard suspension setup, isn't it? Because the soft would absorb it. Vertical. Oh, and that's a crash for Sheffield Hallam.
Would you have cooling issues?
Sorry.
Take off the bits, just take care of it. Maybe don't.
No.
Just say we've gone off the bits, we keep it safe.
That's fine. There's no. If you've gone, you've gone. That's not a problem. Like no one's gonna not without offence, but no one's gonna miss you.
Yeah. Prioritise them tomorrow. Unless you get a guy, you get a bread now.
The Imperial.
Imperial stuff. I'm seeing people from Cardiff lined up there though.
I do.
Oh, crikey, Moses! God,
I do see a red car.
Yeah, it's Basca.
Oh no, that's Denmark.
Thank you ever so much to the guys there for that one. Meanwhile, you've just missed a rather exuberant drive from Sheffield Hallam, who went sideways several times there and also crashed at one point briefly. I say crashed. They came out of the circuit limits and took a number of cones with them. Oxford Brooks' time, they couldn't go better than Coventry. It was a 57.956. So they couldn't quite go better. Coventry still in the lead there with a 55.423. They're entitled to a seat on the hot seat. Imperial College London lining up for their go on sprint yet again. The queue beginning to build now.
It's like the bottleneck, like we saw in acceleration. I just don't get it.
40 minutes to go, and Imperial College are away again.
And it seems to me that they're getting faster and faster every lap they do. And of course, it must be declared dry now. It must be.
I must say, you would be a little bit conservative if you were running with wet tyres in these conditions by our assessment here in the commentary box. I can see Liam from Cardiff. Does that mean that, Liam, are Cardiff coming out soon, or are you just here taking photographs? You don't know. Wonderful. Thank you for that. That's really helpful there, mate. Meanwhile, out on track at the moment is Imperial College London, who are determined to get themselves right back up there. They started out very well because they were one of the first cars out here. Their fastest at the moment is a 105.141. That's a whole 10 seconds slower than Coventry. That's how quick Coventry are. Meanwhile, Vermilion heading out on track again. And that is full send from Vermilion as Imperial College come through the Mansell complex to complete another lap for them with a time of 102.52676. That's really good. Really good. 102.576 for those guys from Imperial College, taking them into 8th position. Meanwhile, out on track at the moment is Vermilion, who are on a send at the moment, really pushing it to the limits of what the car can do within the confines of this circuit.
That was very nicely done then through that section. That looked like that the car was in control throughout the entirety. And it's definitely going faster than the last few laps. Their fastest time is a 1:38. I'm gonna.
Oh, just a bit bouncy through there. Just a bit bouncy, Jess. They come through the hairpin into the Mansell complex, through the complicated right-hander there, and across the line with a time of 59.187. Yes. Very nicely done. And as you said, Jess, it was going to be a sub-60. They were so on for it unless they made a mistake, and they managed to keep it very clean indeed.
Third place now. They've beaten the Basque Country.
Meanwhile, the University of Aberdeen lining up on the start line for another go of it. You can also see UWE in the background there alongside Staffordshire, and I think that might be Exeter in the background as well. So plenty of cars to come. 40 minutes to go. An absence of one key player in the realms of Formula Student UK, where the question is Cardiff? We don't have an answer. What we do have for you is the University of Aberdeen as they head off with a great start. That is a fantastic start, laying the power down there. And away they go towards the first slalom. They'll be looking for a fairly decent time now. Their best at the moment is a 1:11. I'm fairly certain they can do better than that as they come through the double left-hander now at the top of the course of Cops Corner.
It already looks better than what we've seen in the last few laps for Aberdeen. So I think maybe a 1:07, 1:06, maybe even quicker than that potentially, as they seem to be going faster and faster every lap for quite a few laps actually.
They've
But
been improving consistently. It's just been a while since we've seen them. But that looks a little slow there, but they're back on the power now. So whatever was going on, maybe just a bit of conservatism from the driver to avoid hitting any cones. Away goes Staffordshire as well for yet another run through the second slalom. The team from the University of Aberdeen headed towards the hairpin at the bottom of the course. Round they go. Wide exit there just as you need to do it. And through into the Mansell complex, that appalling right-hander that's caused so much drama for so many teams. No issues for Aberdeen, though, and they crossed the line with a 1:09.948, their best time by 2 seconds. Congratulations to Aberdeen. Staffordshire coming through the double zigzags now, headed towards us back in the commentary box and on the approach to the second slalom. Through the slalom, they go now. The question is, what entrance are they going to make? Because they've got to make the best exit as they head towards the most complex part of the course with that hairpin at the bottom, followed by the Mansell complex. And through the hairpin they go, no trouble for them there. All that they've got to contend with now is this right-hander, and that's posed no problems at all. And they cross the line with a time of 59.512. They are immensely pleased with that. It puts them into 5th. It's so close in the top 5. Staffordshire with a 59.512, the Basque Country with a 59.409, and Denmark with a 59.187. And meanwhile, Oxford Brooks are there in second with a 57.956, and Coventry with a 55.423.
that's more like it from Exeter.
Has Exeter fixed the transmission problems?
Don't jinx it. And it looks like we do have some words that the IC seems to be catching up. And you're right, we've got a mixture of ICs and EVs in the top 5, I would say. So, I mean, the ICs, the internal combustion engines, are not giving up here, which is great to see. And they've already through the double left-hander already as Exeter. So, I think from myself and Giles, we are hoping that Exeter could get through this in a fast time. Their fast time at the moment, they're currently sitting bottom with a 1:24.803. They've got to be consistent. This is looking like a very tiny lap from the University of Exeter, which was a county that I've lived in for over almost 20 years now. It's become my home for quite a while. Exeter's about an hour away from me, but I don't care because Exeter's the only university in Devon that's taken part in Form the Student FS class. Here they come then, through Brooklands. What's it going to be? This looks like going to be a time that's going to challenge for the top 10. It looks really neat and tidy. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1:10.114. It puts me to 16. A lot better.
It's incredibly close. Incredibly close are these teams. And away goes the University of Leeds with an exuberant start. They're off. And here is Cheryl and Monty.
You guys need any
Yeah. That's Coventry.
That's cool. Absolutely impeccable stuff. That's what the hot seat is all about. Currently leaders in sprint are Coventry University CU Phoenix Racing. They have risen like the Phoenix and they have absolutely sent it through sprint with a 55-second time. Impeccable stuff. Meanwhile, a drive that has been incredibly exciting for us here in the commentary box. We had a brief visit from them. It's the University of Leeds. Through the hairpin they go. What are they going to do? Through the right-hander of the Mansell complex. They're going to send it, and they do so cleanly. A great time there for the University of Leeds with a 1:04.662.
That puts them into the top 10. Just behind Bar for two seconds there. De Montfort about a few tenths difference there. So Leeds are looking quick. Here we go then. A team that also is looking to get into the sub 1 minutes. The University of Bath, whose livery looks like a Williams from the early 90s, which does look pretty cool. They're going to look to see if they can challenge the highest EV car, which is Oxford Brooks with a 57.956. Here we go then. Can Bath do it? Here they go.
Away they go then. Bath on ascend with the electric power unit in the back, which will pay dividends for them. The internal combustion cars this year have had a number of issues, like this as a field in general. So, you know, to see them matching it with the EVs who've been so consistent this week and gone through scrutineering incredibly well, given past experience. Teams like Team Bath Racing Electric are doing really, really well. And through they come onto the double zigzag at the midpoint of the top end of the course. And they come across the surface change now and headed towards the second slalom. Now this sets you up for one of the most complicated parts of the course. So this slalom is vital to get the exit nailed. And it looks to me like Bath might well do so. Yes, they do. No time lost on the exit of the slalom for Team Bath Racing Electric. And they come round the hairpin again very cleanly with no time lost into that right-hander. A bit of breakthrough there and across the line with a time of 101.501. That puts Bath into 7th. That's how close these teams are. Yui are back and away they go with a very rapid start. A nice throaty noise coming from that internal combustion power unit, and they've stopped yet again, Jess.
They've been pretty much plagued with problems all weekend long. They even just got through scrutineering, but they can't even make it past turn 1 and 2. That is a bit frustrating. A team that again that we want to see them do well, because I don't think they even got through scrutineering last year. So I think they've got a lot of work to do here. I think the car is still stationary. I think the driver's still going to try and get it going. And they do, thank goodness. I think most of their laps they've still got going anyway as they try and make it past this section. And I think once they get the power down, it's fine. It's just a shame that it just
it's
stopped.
not there when required.
And like that.
Just like that. That's really disappointing for you. Meanwhile, Jacob asking a question that I would like the answer to. What happened to Cardiff? Yes, I'm wondering the same thing. How many zip ties do you think are on Hull's car, says Joe Philp. I wouldn't know. 90s Williams with David Hill was peak F1, says Jessica. Go Team Bath Racing Electric, says Robert Watson. Well done, Cov, says Paramount Crispies. And Coventry are bringing the energy, says Jessica. Talking of energy, Yui seem to have found some. They're back under power and they're back on lapping round the Silverstone sprint course here at Formula Student 2025. Currently occupying the hot seat are Coventry. They're sitting there proudly with a time of 55.423. The team closest to them are Oxford Brooks with a 57.956. Meanwhile, away goes. Who was that just shot past us?
That was Bath.
Bath are going on an absolute send, clearly. Very well done to them. Meanwhile, Yui are into the final throws of this lap. They go through the hairpin, and they come back round through the Mansell complex and across the line with a time of 2:03.536. Not representative of the pace we know that car has somewhere in it. If the power could just be consistent, that would be great for Yui. Talking of greatness, Bath are on the way through past us into the second slalom. And this is looking even quicker, I must say, for Bath. They've already posted a 1:01. Surely a sub 60 time is on the way, Jess.
I think it is. It looks a lot more faster. Just look at that tight turn. They managed to do that very, very well. And how are they going to nail the Brooklands and Loughville section? What's going to be a 55.6? They're currently in second place.
Only 0.2 of a second from the lead are Team Bath Racing Electric.
Coventry are happy about that.
Coventry might be sitting on the edge of their hot seat right now. They might be about to lose it to Bath if they go again. And here come Imperial College London. Meanwhile, we're reliably informed that Cardiff are sat next to the AI area trying to get their car running. That's rather a difficult problem for Cardiff. That's rather disappointing. Caramel Crispies coming in with a rather harsh comment. Cardiff, car doesn't work. That's a bit harsh there from Caramel Crispies. Meanwhile, going through the hairpin are Imperial College London, headed towards the double zigzag at the top of the course here at Cops. Half an hour left of running for sprint. Giles and Jess with you. Monty and Cheryl out and about. And at the moment, Team Bath Racing Electric are in with a hair's width of taking the win from Coventry, who came out and posted a monumental 55-second time. And then Team Bath Racing Electric came in with 0.2 slower than them. Meanwhile, here comes Vermilion. There's a car that could well challenge for the lead as well, Jess. It's really hotting up here for Sprint as Imperial College London come through a corner that they have come to hate, but they got through it with no problem now, and they crossed the line with a 1:00.723.
Their best time, that puts them into P8 so far in this event. But now we've got Denmark as we are seeing cars going out of there, but Denmark are still going, and it looks like they seem to be handling those corners quite well. We've still got more cars in the queue. Aberdeen is making their way through to set another lap time. Their fastest time for one of their drivers will get wiped off. Will anyone be able to beat the University of Coventry Phoenix Racing? The Phoenix is rising from the ashes. Will it stay there? As we could see, comes Denmark through the final corner. What's it going to be? It is a snap. It is a 57.823. They've beaten Oxford Brooks. They're in the top 3.
Oxford Brooks, I appreciate you may well have issues and may not be able to make an appearance, but if your car is working, now would be the time to get in the queue.
Same with Basque Country.
Yeah, that too. Meanwhile, University of Aberdeen on the line again for another go of it, and off they go again, Jess.
Here they go. The wind is coming, and I think we may get forecast of rain soon. So if you're not in the queue yet and past Screw, get in the queue. Aberdeen seem to be a lot faster.
Aberdeen pushing it as best they can, coming through into the double left-hander at the top of the course. Meanwhile, comments here from Robert Watson. Woo, go Team Bath Racing Electric. Looks like someone was paying attention in Dr. Josh Darling's vehicle dynamics lectures. I wonder if OBR can get a good pace, hoping for some competition.
Staffordshire's here. Staffordshire's on track.
Staffordshire headed out on track. Currently absent from the track are Oxford Brooks. You can see the University of Aberdeen on your screens now as they come through into the second slalom. They've got to get this right in order to put themselves in the best position for the final part of the course. That hairpin lying at the bottom of Copse Corner into the Mansell complex. Here comes the hairpin, and they've gone through that with no problem at all, like a knife through butter. This corner's spelt issues for a number of teams. No such problems for Aberdeen, and across the line with a time of 1:04.844.
That puts them into almost in the top 10, 2 tenths behind Leeds. And we have got another team. We've got a line racing ready to go, but we've got another team out there on the circuit waiting to get the time. And here's Cheryl Monty.
OBR's got problems, clearly.
Oh, otherwise it definitely would have been up there.
Yeah.
Takes the other
Just the line.
the outside was awful to listen to them. However, as the team principal, watching that lap unfold, how are you feeling?
Well, I did not expect 55 seconds. However, when they first went out and when we looked at the data, we realized that they're not even using the boost. So we just told them to not get out of the
maybe when sprint ends.
and just keep
I don't know
it
when you're-
running because the boost only comes
Wait,
after
I was going to see what
He's with his family now. Just so we can talk about his team.
Yeah, but David.
Yeah. Feel free now, just have a little look through those Insta things again.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, we're an inexperienced team, but we've made the cars faster than an experienced team, so we've made up so much.
Go and grab him. We'll see what I'll see what I can do.
He's there, long hair, he's with his family right now.
I've got to get back on comm, so just bring him in. Thank you very much to Cheryl and Monty. You join us back on track. Giles and Jess here in the commentary box. That's a line racing out on track. And we're going to provide a bit of conjecture now. We've got a funny feeling Oxford Brooks have got problems. And this is only conjecture based on our ideas and hypotheses in the commentary box. But they're running down the timing board. They were in second. They're now down to fifth. They haven't come back to defend their position. And that seems unlike Oxford Brooks. It would suggest to us here in the commentary box that there might be issues with Oxford Brooks' car.
Yes, and the tight team I want to see is Basque Country as well. We haven't seen them in a while, so we want to see them try and get the fastest time. They're probably going to leave it till late as a line race go up to the line a 1:04.
This is impeccable.
P8. P8 out there on the circuit, so I think they'll be very pleased with that. I don't think we've got any cars in the queue.
Not at the moment, and I think it's well worth just looking on FS stats if you can, and looking at the timings, because it is so tight across the entire field. 19 cars have run, and it's incredibly tight across the field. And some teams are huge outfits with a significant amount of funding and years of experience, and some teams have come back against all odds with just over 10 members, made up of first and second years, and they're challenging the big boys, and that would include De Montfort, and we have one of the drivers from De Montfort here, who has done an absolutely impeccable job to get the team where they are today. And he celebrated his birthday yesterday in the big photo on the pit lane. Congratulations, because I did wonder whether we get to see De Montfort out on track.
Yes, no, it's been such a tumultuous day. Yesterday did not go quite well. I suppose it did actually go quite well. Managed to make it through 4 out of 6 parts of scrutineering, and then today has been just totally downhill from there. The engine has been not starting and then starting and cutting off, and then suddenly, I guess a couple of hours ago, we fixed it and we got through noise, we got through brake, and then before I knew it, I was sending it onto track. So I'm just so happy that Big Send Uni's back.
Big Send Uni is back, and there was a moment you were being fairly calm and cautious compared to what we've seen from De Montfort in the past, but there was still a sideways moment coming through one of the zigzags. So you're still maintaining that consistency, the legacy of De Montfort's name here at Formula Student. The fastest time has been a 1:05, so really nice to see. What are you hoping for? Are you going to go? Well, there's 20 minutes left. There's no queue. Are you going to go back out, or are you not going to risk it?
To be honest, given the level of the car, probably not. We're a bit heat soaked from turning the car off and then getting the second driver in. So temperature's got a little bit high, so I think we're going to leave it for today and just count as lucky stars that we made it on track at all, to be honest. But I'm just so happy that we made it.
Not to play devil's advocate, but there will be a greater distance involved for endurance tomorrow. If you're already getting heat soaked at this point, how are you going to contend with endurance? I mean, I've got Daniel just being like behind you. Don't worry, I got it covered. But are there any plans to, or is it just a case of just taking it slow and steady during endurance to make sure you can get over the line without overheating?
Yeah, to be honest, so we've got a couple of plans. Obviously, we'll look over the car tonight and see if we can maybe perhaps an airlock or something like that. But to be honest, I personally kept it in second gear the whole time and was absolutely revving it. Pretty crazy. So in endurance, should we make it out for that, we'll sort of lift and coast, a bit of third gear, and just try and complete as many laps as we can, I think.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you very much for joining us. And
Thank you,
sincere
Giles.
Congratulations. Happy birthday as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Meanwhile, if you are in the cop stands, congratulations, you're on camera. So give us a wave. There's a lady in a red coat. There's a man with a black baseball cap. I think it's a Goodwood cap. So you're on camera now, and there's the lady. Right now, though, we have a VT from a team that we seem to have been missing throughout this afternoon's coverage. So hopefully we'll be able to compensate for that with this VT. It's Cardiff and Cheryl. Thank you.
Although we haven't covered as many kilometres as we'd like, we're still quite confident that we should be passing extraordinary today and then get an outro tomorrow morning, hopefully.
That's awesome. So how close are you to complete scrutiny right now?
So we've got fuel behind us right here, so that's sort of in the middle, so we've done 3 out of 6 thickness. The next one is tilt test, and then we'll go to the brake test finally. So yeah, with sun.
A new team. Yeah, new team. Better than me.
So I heard you have an interesting name for your car, and I heard that the cover is the fact that you plan to go to EV next year. But what is the real reason?
Obviously, finding
She fucking failed it. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so it's a fail back with EV and any functional issues, so maybe we should run EV in the end, but we also look after our very dear friend Nigel Cosgrove's system,
I do really like that you actually admitted it this time. That makes me very happy, and I'm sure it'll make Giles happy. The rest of the event, I'm worried for you guys because I haven't bet for hours. So
I can't believe you bet against us, but here we are.
he didn't want to jinx you because you didn't win. Yeah. Thanks for your time. Like I said, good luck.
Support very much.
Thank you very much to Gibbo and Cheryl there. And yes, very clearly, Cardiff have named their car after my sister. Unfortunately for them, whilst they did appear this morning, they've yet to appear this afternoon, so that I don't have to talk about Aaron taking Evie for a ride. Meanwhile, coming across the line is a team we were very excited to see. Sheffield are back with a 106.101. We haven't seen them in a number of years. It's great to see them back. They look gorgeous. That's a great looking car. And it's a great banking time. Their very first time out on track. Brilliant stuff.
Honestly, don't get confused with Sheffield Hallam. There's two different universities. We had De Montfort and Leicester hang a rivalry. I wonder if we got a rivalry between the two Sheffield universities, and they're quite close in times, I have to say. So I can't wait to see what they could do. The first driver is doing their second one right now. We've only got 15 minutes almost of sprint left. There's a lot of drivers in the queue ready to get going. Hang on, I recognise that car.
Crikey Moses, I spoke too soon. I didn't think I was going to have to talk about Evie, but in the background there behind Lee Traherne is Cardiff's car. So Sheffield,
Maybe that's why that BT was playing.
Sheffield and Cardiff have managed to just sneak in with 15 minutes of the event left to go. The driver from Sheffield currently in conversation with the marshal from Motorsport UK.
You're welcome.
15 minutes on the clock. The time is counting down. Can these teams get at least 4 laps completed before 6 o'clock? Thumbs up from the marshals. Thumbs up to go then. This will be Sheffield's second attempt. I think there was a concern about something mechanical on Sheffield's car. It did like it was putting some sort of vapour out behind it at one point, but no such issue there, and away they go for their second run. Do Sheffield into turn 1 already. And then on to the first slalom at the top of the course with a double left-hander to follow outside the timeshares. Here at Cops Corner at Silverstone, you're live for Formula Student 2025. This is sprint. We will have full coverage, and that is a disaster for Sheffield. They had completed 1 lap cleanly. No such luck for the second lap. Car number 11 has stopped on track, and whilst it's a great pun on the rear end of their car, that is not going to be what Cardiff want to see, because they want Sheffield out of the way so they can finally make a go of it. They are blocking the course now, are Sheffield, and they are out of the car. Sheffield are out of the car.
They're done.
There's only 15 minutes left. Can they get the car out of the way for Cardiff is the question. This is going to hold them up.
And that's going to hold the teams behind them up, in particular the ones who want to beat Coventry off their perch as well. I won't be surprised if the likes of Bath and Staffordshire are in the queue. I'm almost certain of it.
I'm looking at the queue, Jess, and it's currently I can see it's Cardiff, and then
That might be Yui.
Yui coming through. Imperial College London just seem addicted to this, which is completely understandable with the unlimited dynamic runs. But the team that we have yet to see out on track is Cardiff University, who are now lining up as they wheel Sheffield out of the way at the top of the course, right before that double left-hander. Here is car number 2.
We got Bolton still wait. It was Bolton that was still waiting in the queue there. Great University of Greater Manchester.
That would be them, but they have already gone a significant number of times. Yui and Cardiff, sister teams, have yet to go particularly far. Cardiff not at all. Yui inhibited by a power issue. Cardiff then finally able to put Evie out on track. Thank you for that one, Gibbo. As Sheffield get wheeled away, the driver helping the Motorsport UK marshals to wheel their car into a safe position away from the track. They are going to have to wait until the car is cleared, and until such time the time is ticking away, which is not going to bode well for both Cardiff and Yui.
And Bolton.
Are they going to get it all the way back to the pit lane, or are they going to park it up on the grass? I genuinely don't have the answer to that, but I know it's a question many will be asking. They are, I think, I think they're going to try and what are I don't
They're
know.
on the grass. They're on the grass.
Are they on the grass though? I think
Yes.
that's an escape road they're on.
Oh.
They're wheeling it in behind the tyre wall, which they're questioning. Is that sufficient? I hope so, because that means we'll be able to get some of the other cars going. Expectant faces here on the entrance to the course as plenty of people start questioning in the comments whether we're ready to go. And the Cardiff are being beckoned forward, or are they being pulled away? They're being pulled out the way to allow, is that Yui to come on? That Cardiff seem to be, from what I can see
Oh,
here.
do they have a problem?
I sincerely hope not, but another team is being beckoned
Yeah,
in
I think they
place
pull to the
of
side.
Cardiff.
They pull to the side, which means that I think Cardiff have a problem and Dewey are ready, so they're going.
An absolute disaster for Cardiff. Unfortunately, just as things started to look like they were about to come good, right out of the jaws of positivity comes more negativity for Cardiff. Meanwhile, car 121, Yui on the line. The iconic red and white always reminds me of Hesketh. Sponsorship there from Ansys, Babcock, and About Energy, amongst others. And away go Yui, hopefully, for a clean lap, uninhibited by powertrain problems. They have disappeared for a while, so one would think they've gone to the pits to rectify those issues. I'll talk them through the lap, Jess. You keep an eye on what's going on with Cardiff, because I'm intrigued to see what goes on there as well. And through go Yui, through the first slalom, into the double left-hander at the top of the course, past the timeshares, into the double zigzag now. The right-handed zigzags that can cause you to clip the cone on exit. Just watch the rear wheels. No such issues there for Yui. Looking very planted. The suspension setup is sublime on the Yui car. Through they go into the second slalom now. Remember, this is incredibly vital if they want to get through the highly complex portion of the course.
Here goes Bolton. Bolton's out there on the circuit. There's quite a few teams that are going ahead of Cardiff. I am seeing another team, looks like Birmingham again, that want to knock Coventry off their perch. That's going to be a very interesting part because Coventry is not that far from Birmingham.
And that is a time of 58.215. We knew Yui could do it, provided the powertrain played ball, and it did for 58.2 seconds, and that's enough to put Yui into sixth position.
And we are going to see what the University of Bolton could do out there on the circuit. Greater Manchester, they're now called, but we are allowed to call them Bolton. And it looks like to me that their power is very consistent behind the wheel. Of course, they've done a remarkable job to get here today, only passing scrutineering this afternoon. We'll see what they can do in the final few moments of their lap then. We're just over 11 minutes to go of sprint, and time is at a crunch here. Once we hit 6 o'clock, that is it. What is Bolton going to post the time? It is a 1 minute 7.684, which is not their fastest time because they get the 1 minute 6s. And
Here we go.
got a team out there on circuit. We've got Evie, car number 2, Cardiff Racing, about to take it to the track. One of the early teams that are past scrutineering to not get out of the track yet for sprint. They need to get this right, and we're going to see if they can do it.
This could be genuinely quite interesting because not only have Cardiff yet to run, as a result, they get priority out on track over the teams that have run. If you look who is second in the queue, is Oxford Brooks. Now, they have been relegated way down.
And here they go. Cardiff Racing are out there on track, and that looks very tidy for a first lap.
It's looking all right for Cardiff, but we know the driving team from Cardiff are incredibly competent. It's a case of will the car play ball? Evie with, I believe, Aaron Farmer behind the wheel, coming past the stricken Sheffield car. Into the double left-hander they go. Now onto the double zigzag. The car with the Triumph Street Triple in the back, looking really all right for the first time since the afternoon session started. They've been missing in action, have Cardiff, and they now head towards the second slalom, putting the power down. The final combustion car from Cardiff University as they head towards that second slalom. This will set them up for the hairpin and the Mansell complex. The question, of course, now is, can they get through in a sufficient time to put them up amongst the big boys? It's easier said than done with an internal combustion power unit in the back. Here comes that right-hander. No issues for Cardiff. Here comes the line. The time is a 1:00.275, and that puts them into the top 10, into 9th. Away go Oxford Brooks to defend their honour. They are currently sat in 5th. They were in 1st. Can they take the lead back?
And Phoenix Racing are hoping not, but we got a lot of Oxford Brooks in Cops Corner that are hoping that Oxford can knock Coventry off their perch. A few years ago, it was between the likes of Oxford Brooks and Coventry for the win. I think it was Coventry that only did one run, and they managed to get first straight away then. So here they come then. It's looking quite fast, but is it going to be enough to beat Coventry? It's going to be pretty tight. It's ICE, internal combustion, versus electric, and they're not the fastest electric at the moment. The fastest electric is the University of Bath. That looking very good towards the Mansour section. I wonder if it's going to be enough to beat Coventry or even get into the top 3. We'll have to find out. Let's see, it's going to be a 58.1, which puts them still in 5th.
That's not even their fastest time, which is disappointing for Oxford Brooks University. Cardiff lined up. Cardiff giving the thumbs up. They're good to go. The second run for driver number 1 from Cardiff. And away go Cardiff. That would have been a exciting lap with the 1 minute. Now is a case of how far can they send it? Where is the apex of performance for this car on this circuit? The final combustion car from Cardiff University. They came second last year. They have had a significant number of mechanical problems throughout the weeks leading up to filming this student, and including here this week. They've been sat in the pits all afternoon trying to get their car to work, and by the looks of things, it is finally working, dancing through the corners as it goes through the double zigzag at the top of the course, headed towards that surface change beneath the car. No lost traction for them. Into the second slalom. This will set them up for the hairpin to follow. Watch their entrance into the hairpin. Can they get in as quickly as possible without losing any speed? Yes, they can. They then go into the Mansell complex, named after a Cardiff alumnus. Through they go then, and across the line with a time of 57.124, and that puts them into 3rd.
The wait was worth it for Cardiff Racing. We thought we were never going to see them on track. They're in the top 3 for sprint for now, but we've just seen the University of Leicester out there on the circuit. They're still going, which is good news. They've had some problems earlier on. Currently, they're sitting in last place out of all the teams with a 1:15.580. They want to go quicker than that. Otherwise, you don't want to be last of the Wooden Spoon. But if you are last, you will be competing first in endurance tomorrow. So you will get a clean track to start with, but you may have to move out of the way or out of certain teams that are going out. We've still got more teams waiting. Staffordshire is out there to get another go.
Just managed to hold that through that iconic right corner in the Mansell complex.
106.1. That's more like it for Leicester. That puts them into P17, just ahead of Sheffield Hallam. And here goes Staffordshire to have another crack at it.
Impeccable stuff. We've got 5 minutes to go. There's a groan, as it seemed to be. They sent it just a bit too hard, did Staffordshire, and I'm sure there's some cones gone there. Into the first slalom goes the team with the shark on the nose. It's all hotting up. This unlimited dynamics run rule has really put the cat amongst the pigeons. We've had 21 runners, and all of them are within 15 seconds of one another, and that's a mixture of internal combustion and electric powertrains. Excellent stuff here as Staffordshire come back into the view of the commentary box through the double zigzag, headed over that surface change and onto the second slalom.
Yes, indeed. Of course, Staffordshire sitting in 4th, and they're not that far off Cardiff time. And they are. It looks like they've only got one attempt to do it, but with hardly anybody in the queue, they could technically go again after this one if they want to with their next driver, but they could forfeit their fastest lap time. So what could Staffordshire do? Heading towards the final corner, this looks more comfortable to me.
1:00.
That's not their fast time at all. Hopefully it's not the fastest time getting rid of from their fastest driver at the moment, but they're not going again. It looks like they're not. I think there's a chance for one more team to get up there. I'm just seeing the gap between the likes of Cardiff, Staffordshire, Denmark, Oxford Brooks, all in the 57s. Then we've got Yuri. I have to say, I'm really impressed with Yuri. We thought we weren't going to see them hit the fast time, and they did it. Yui and Cardiff. I'm impressed with those two.
To be completely honest with you, going into this week, I didn't think we were going to see a field of cars this strong and this close together.
I know.
I thought we were going to get about 5 cars through with the way it was looking initially, and this has been an immensely strong sprint session. So congratulations to everyone who got through scrutineering.
The most we've ever had in quite a while, actually.
Well, certainly when we've been commentating.
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Yeah.
Now, there's 4 minutes to go on the session. Your top 3 as things stand. Cardiff in third with a 57.124. Bath in second with a 55.600. And Coventry sitting pretty in pole in P1 on the hot seat with a 55.423.
And we've got the University of Greater Manchester that I will believe will either be the penultimate team or the last team to have a go. So they're the only teams that could knock Coventry off their perch. But they've got a mountain to climb. They're 19th. So they got to get their best out possible. I do hope they sent their fastest driver out there on circuit right now.
One would hope so. One would hope so. They are approaching the line now. R. Bolton. I know that the great University of Greater Manchester, but it just makes my life easier.
It makes both of our lives easier, and Monty.
Exactly. I can actually see on one of the other cameras that you're not currently seeing on stream, Coventry sat on the edge of their hot seat, just waiting for the clock to run out to claim victory in sprint. Currently, the only team on track is the University of Greater Manchester. Bolton have gone away and heading off down the track. The hope for Bolton is to keep it clean, and they looked a bit squirmy through the first corner, headed towards that first slalom on the track there. But at the moment, this does seem to be going the way of Coventry University Phoenix Racing. Here they go then, do Bolton through the double left-hander. They don't seem to have the pace to be able to contend with the 55.423 set by Coventry. So, as the clock runs out, unless Oxford Brooks puts in a surprise appearance before the clock does indeed hit 6 o'clock, this is going to Coventry. Meanwhile, here is Bolton. Can they get a clean lap in without any cones, is the question for these guys as they head towards the second slalom. That will set them up for the hairpin at the bottom of the course. Here at Formula Student 2025, car number 94 on your screens now. On our screens, I can see Monty beginning to hype up Coventry. They know they're minutes away from claiming victory in sprint. All that stands between them and victory is 60 seconds. And a team from Bolton who are so determined to get through cleanly. And I think that was a clean lap from Bolton. Congratulations to them with a 108.115. That is incredibly clean. And there it is. They've done it. Coventry have claimed victory at sprint at Formula Student 2025. They've gone mad in the hot seat. A huge congratulations. Here's Cheryl and the team.
Oh, brilliant.
Staffordshire can go again.
Oh, we're going, are we live?
It all happened at the same time. Coventry claimed victory, and rightfully so, because no one was going to be able to contest it. But there was still a minute left on the clock, so they sent Staffordshire off. So Staffordshire are out on what will be the last lap of sprint. Their current best time is a 57.677. Unless they can find 2 seconds, that really is Coventry's. So I should imagine this isn't going to change the standings, but you never know. Stranger things have happened at Formula Student. Across the line comes Staffordshire with a 1:00.498. Victory does indeed go to Coventry in sprint.
And we'll throw it back to Monty and Cheryl with Coventry.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
I've loved it. Absolutely loved it.
God, what a save from Cardiff. And he's saving face, like bloody hell.
That was so lucky.
out on our first go. So
I've already just got one
it
whose
was
message from a
actually
couple
in
of hours
there,
ago.
and he set a lap of 1 minute and 20 seconds. Then we sent Chris out, and that ended up on 105. And then we decided to gamble with the slower driver. Okay, let's try to get him to go quicker. And I think at that point we put softs on as well. And then as soon as everyone else saw that we're going on softs and it's just drying out, everyone started doing it. And then
I'm so hungry.
went out.
Me too.
Didn't manage to beat the faster driver.
Or make sure
And then it was
someone do we need to plug the awards ceremony, which is at 8:15 at the pavilion.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's being streamed. That's not to say that, but
Yeah.
we will plug it regardless.
Yeah.
People come
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, when does your stream end?
Very shortly, within the next few minutes.
I'll leave it to it.
I'll be right back. I'll come and catch you in a second.
Yeah, yeah.
and then 10 seconds quicker. Absolutely amazing. I'll pass you over to Monty.
No. Well, I just want to say a huge congratulations once again. That was nicely executed. There's only one left.
This has been some really good coverage today.
Yeah.
Commentary, you have won the sprint. How does it feel?
Also, nice
Second time in 2 years.
Was it me or was someone from Coventry wearing leather trousers? Isn't it a bit wet for leather trousers? Congratulations to Coventry. That was an absolutely impeccable way to take victory in sprint. Huge congratulations to everyone involved. And that brings to an end the Saturday of dynamic events here at Formula Student live from Silverstone. You can see the Motorsport UK marshals there heading off for a well-earned rest and a cup of tea. Congratulations to everyone who took part. We've had a fantastic field, an incredibly close field, and that unlimited dynamic runs today, especially in the sprint, that's truly paid off. That's created some really great competition. Jess, what's been your highlight today?
I think lots of the Montfort being out there on track, teams that you wouldn't expect to be out there on track. I'm thinking it's nice to see Denmark being up there. We thought we were going to see Oxford Brooks and Basque Country compete with the likes of Coventry, Bath and Cardiff, but they weren't able to do it. But they had more of a chance later on as well. And I think it's just how the fact that we've had 21 teams in sprint is going to be amazing. And we're going to have to head to endurance tomorrow. And endurance, we're on camera, everybody. And you can see Giles more than me, it turns out. But I'm excited for endurance tomorrow because that is where, Giles, the majority of points is gained. If you finish endurance, you'll do well in Formula Student, but as long as you do well in static.
You really will. Big up to all the marshals involved in putting on this event today, whether those are from Formula Student volunteers like Hugh, who's coming past the commentary box now, or whether it's the Motorsport UK marshals. They've all been impeccable, so thank you to them. Thank you to Hyvis, and don't forget if you're here if you're here at Silverstone and you can come to the award ceremony, please do. It's at the pavilion. It's at 8:15, so do join us. Plenty of awards to hand out there, including the award for the champions of the Sim Racing Series this year.
And Engineering Challenge.
Exactly. But for now, we're going to say goodbye. Do come back tomorrow, because if that was anything to go by, tomorrow is going to be just as exciting. But for now, she's been Jess, and it's goodbye from Jess.
And it's goodbye from Giles Cosgrove.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much for your work today. Brilliant.
See the highlights here. Second, watch this. Watch this. So when I found out that Cardiff were leading skid pad.
Cardiff got back out on endurance in the end as well.
Sprint, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Well done.
Well, that was amazing.
The potential we have in this car as well.
Yeah, I know.
We won't be able to fully unlock it tomorrow with endurance.
No,
I imagine.
absolutely. But at the end of the day, you got something.
You got
Which is better
you're
than-
better than
Yeah, it
half
was.
the team.
It was. BSPD.
You bought it, though, didn't you?
No, well, we bought it, but we bought it shit. Sometimes they don't have the same model.
Fuck's sake.
But I'm not an electrics guy, but the BSPD is what I've got to go. Obviously, don't say anything, but almost every single team, but the BSPD is what I've got to go. Obviously, don't say anything, but